Okay, so our first problem is going to be a review. Well, no, I guess it's not a review. That one right there. Negative 5n plus 2n is greater than 3. What should we do? Yeah, don't work ahead. Don't work. I want to make sure you know it's the right step before you do. Eliana?
Yeah, just combine the first part into a negative 3n.
Good. These two right here, this negative 5n and that 2n, you can't isolate n when you've got two different terms that have n's. So I'm going to add those together, and in order to add these together, do I add 5 and 2 or subtract 5 and 2? Subtract, because one of them's got a negative there. So I'm going to end up with negative 3n greater than 3. From there, it's a single step inequality. Divide by negative 3. Yes? You do flip the sign on this one because you divided by a negative. So it's going to be n is less than negative 1. Okay, so that's one kind of example. Are we ready to move on? Okay, number 2. Give me a second. Oh, we're in 5, aren't we? Let's do. Oh boy. We're gonna jump right into one of the larger problems, okay? See how you do it. We're in a negative 2, and then in parentheses, x plus 5 plus 20 is greater than 6.
Wait,
Children?
yes. Last night we did homework.
Homework.
There was no homework. No, it tells you the homework for that day. That
Yeah.
It's not like the other classes. That's our homework.
I'm like, oh,
You did?
yeah, that's why I
Or did you do well?
yes, I know how to do that.
Okay.
Wow.
All right, so put a line down the inequality. Whenever you have parentheses, order of operations says those have to be first. So I've got to get those parentheses taken care of. And how do you get rid of parentheses? Eliana?
This one's a distributive property.
It's going to be the distributive property. So this negative 2 in front of the parentheses needs to be multiplied into both of the values in the parentheses. So we're going to do negative 2 times x. And be careful with your negatives here. What's negative 2 times 5? Sam? Negative 10. So I'm just going to write that as minus 10. And then don't forget the plus 20 and the greater than 6. Sort of. I mean, it kind of goes along with that. Okay, now what do you think? Look at the problem and see what else can be done. Ivan?
Add 10 plus 20.
Add the 10 and 20. Will I be adding 10 and 20 like to get 30 though?
No.
No, what Brayden?
You'll just get regular 10.
You will, yeah, because this 10 is a negative 10. So really we're going to do 20 minus 10. So I'd get regular 10. So we've got the negative 2x, and then that's 10. So So once you do the distributive property and combine like terms, now it's down to a two-step problem that you were working on the end of last week. So I want to isolate the x. So I have to get rid of add 10. So let's get rid of that by subtracting. If any of these steps don't make sense, please ask while we're working on it, okay? What's 6 minus 10? Brayden?
-4.
Very good. You end up subtracting those, but in the correct order. So you would do 10 minus 6 and then get a negative. Nathan, what do I do after that?
You kind of have to divide
By
2, -2.
-2. Good. Jace, when I divide by -2, what else do I have to do?
Divide 4 by
But what happens to the inequality? Does it stay or change?
change.
It changes, yep. So the -2's cancel. X is less than, because we divided by a negative, so inequality switches, and it is,
-2.
Oh.
what's a negative divided by a negative?
2.
Oh,
2,
yeah.
positive, so it should be X is less than 2. Questions right now? That made sense, sort of? All right, let's try another one then. Number 3. 3r plus 2, but the 2 is multiplied by a parenthesis, and in the parentheses is 2r plus 7. Oh boy.
You just said that at the beginning of the
We're gonna try this one.
My number 1. That's it. Oh,
Is it greater than the rest?
Less than or equal to.
Oh, I remember. Wasn't it on our worksheet?
We had one like this on our worksheet that I helped most of you with. And
Yeah.
by that I mean there's variables on the left side and on the right side. I'm not gonna be quizzing you on that part of it where it's on both sides, but that doesn't mean we can't get used to working with them. Because that will happen at some point. Okay, what do you think we should do first? It's the same as the last problem. As far as what did we do first? Evelyn?
Combine 3r.
Not yet. Because the 2r is in the parentheses. So I first have to get the 2r out of the parentheses. How do I do that, Donnie?
2 times 2r and 2 times
What's that called? Good, we're gonna use the distributive property. Anytime there's parentheses, distributive property is your very first thing to do, always. So let's distribute the 2. I have a 3r in the front. And then we're gonna do 2 times 2r, 4r, plus 2 times 7, 14. Okay, so there's the left side. It looks better already, just getting rid of those parentheses. On the right side, I don't have any parentheses or anything, so I just leave 5r minus 8. Jace, you have to do that part. Catch up on your notes. Eliana? Oh, not yet. I'm going to let them get caught up in the notes. Eliana, what did you think was next?
You have to combine 3r and 4r.
Okay, this time, the r's are what I have more of on the left side here. So I'm going to take 3r plus 4r, which makes 7r plus 14. when variables are on both sides. For those that I helped on Friday, can you remember?
Oh,
We have a couple that think they remember. William?
You subtract the left side from the right, or the right side.
You actually subtract whichever one's smaller is usually the goal. Did you remember that, Ivan?
yeah.
Yeah? So the 5R is the smallest of the R's. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 5R from both of the R terms. How come I can't just add them together?
Because, don't be the same.
Because I added these two together and just made those 7. How come I can't add the 5 and the 7 now, Donnie?
The other side of the.
Because it's on the other side. Right, I need to like move it over so that I can combine them. So to move that over, I have to subtract it. What's your question?
What if it was negative 5R?
Then you'd have to add it.
Okay.
So you move it by doing the opposite operation.
Yeah.
Yep. So now I end up with 2R plus 14 less than or equal to negative 8. Can you all solve it from there?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and work a little bit on your own to finish this one. Put a box around the 2R. So the R term is on the left-hand side, which means everything I do is based off of what's happening on the left-hand side. So that plus 14 is the number that needs to move. So you should have subtracted 14 as your first step. That makes the 14 go away, so that 2R is by itself. So 2R is less than or equal to, did you add or subtract 8 and 14? Add them because they're both negatives. So negative 22 is what you get. Divide by 2. Does dividing by 2 flip your sign? No, it does not. So R less than or equal to negative 11. William?
So, like, let's say there was like a problem, it was like 7R divided by 4 divided by 2 for some reason, like negative 2 for some reason. And if you were to divide the positive first and then divide the positive second, it would just flip the sign.
It would.
But would you, well, in that problem, you divide the negative first. So, but then what if somebody accidentally divides the negative before the positive? Then it would just be the same sign. Because it would flip and then, oh no, wait.
Yeah, I think you'd get the same thing.
Yeah, I know you would, because I was thinking like the positive would flip it out.
Okay, how about, what number was that, 3? Let's do number 4, question number 4. We will do 12 greater than or equal to Make sure you're writing this in a space you have enough place to work down from.
I've already used 2 pages. I've already used 2 pages.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, those of you that write larger, this all. Okay, so what do you think about the fact that the x's, well, the x that I have is on the right side of the inequality? See, the x is over here, like all my work is gonna be on the right side.
You still do it the same.
You can still do it the same way, or you can flip it. But if you decide to take this side and swap them, what happens to your inequality? It changes it as well. At some point, you do have to flip this around because it's not okay to leave your answer with the variable on the right. That's not okay. So I'm going to flip the sides right now. I'm going to put the 6 in the parenthesis over here. And I'm going to put the 12 over here. But then flip from a greater than to a less than. How do you know where the answer is? I did tell you not to work it.
Oh, oh, I listen.
I already knew how to do it because I actually did it in my home class.
Oh,
It
that's
wasn't
good.
posted for me.
That's good. Okay, what do I do now?
Oh, good.
That step you did not have to do. You did not have to flip it at this point. But what do I do now? It's the same first step as all the other problems. Evelyn?
So you have to do that thing where you put the 6 in the parentheses.
What's it called? Distributive property. Okay, so we're going to distribute the 6. We got to get everything out of these parentheses. That's our first goal, is to get everything out of there. So we're going to do 6 times 12x. That's 72x. And then 6 times 2 is 12. Listen. Okay, all I have is a single x term over here. I have no like terms to combine, so we can skip that step. How do I get 72x by itself? Eliana? I gotta get rid of that 12 first. So let's move that number. Move the 12. And what happens to all the 12s? They're all gone, right? Okay, so these cancel. The ones on the left cancel like they're supposed to. But on the right side, I can't just not write something. So what do I write when everything went away?
0.
0. So it's going to be 72x is less than or equal to 0. And then I've got to divide by 72. Whoops, that's not a 72. That's a 27.
27, not.
It really doesn't matter, actually, because 0 divided by anything is
0.
0.
I really,
Oh, I just wanna see that one flip.
Sorry about that, it just fell.
I really hope it still records.
Does it look like it's still recording?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's,
Subscribers now.
Okay, there.
I'm gonna watch it. I
The
wanna
pencil
watch
slipped.
it and just like.
Yes. Okay, so 6th graders, I'm going to give one of these to you, and I want you to try this one on your own. Ask if you don't know where to begin or along the way need help. I'll walk around and answer your questions. This is question number 5. We're going to do
Oh,
when you distribute the 5, it'll become a whole number when you multiply by 3.8, I think, so.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so write this one down, work on this on your own, ask questions if you've got them. What is always the first thing to look at? Distributive property. So everybody should be starting with the distributive property. Because order of operations says multiplication comes before addition, so you gotta multiply it first. this problem. First question. Can I, you're gonna think about this, gotta tell me a reason. Can I add 58 and 5? I answered someone's question on it, so that person can't answer it, but somebody else. Why can I not? Because it's a very, no. Donnie.
It's because 5 is part of the distributive property thing that's inside of that problem.
Very good. This 5 is a part of this multiplication problem. What does order of operations say you have to do first? Order of operations says multiplication has to come first. So you cannot add those together until the distributive property is done. So when we distribute the 5, we would get, give me a second here, 58 plus, what'd you get when you distributed? Evelyn?
5x minus, I think 19.
19 is correct.
Yeah.
Okay, 5x minus 19 is what you get with the distributive property.
Yeah.
You still get 5x minus 19, just on the left-hand side. Nothing about the order changes of the problem. It's just that they're this way. Now that the distributive property is done, isn't all of our multiplication done? Right? Now we can work on adding and subtracting. Is there anything I can add or subtract? William?
You can subtract the 58 from, well, you can subtract 19 to 58.
Okay, these two right here are like terms. 58, 5x is not, so we're going to leave the 5x. 58 and 19. What's 58 minus 19? What'd you all get? Landon? 39. Okay, so the numbers combine to give you 39, and then you still have a 5x. You can, yeah, you can have it on the other side. If you switch these around, you would just have 39 plus 5x less than or equal to 24. They would just be on different sides. Okay? Everything I do is going to be based off of what's going on the right side, because that's where my x is. Jude, focus up here. That's where my 5x is. So I got to get rid of the number that's with the x. How do I get rid of 39? Carolyn.
You subtract 39 from 1 plus 5.
Okay. That means 5x is by itself. That was our goal, right? The 39 went away. When you do 24 minus 39, you'll have to subtract in the other order. So 39 minus 24,
Give me a negative number.
negative 15, yep. Are any of you really bothered that the x is on the right?
I just.
If you switch it around and solve it, I'm sorry for the confusion.
I didn't switch it around.
I know. Okay, this is 5 times x, so we're going to use division to get the x by itself. Does dividing by 5 switch the inequality sign? Divided by 5, does it switch the inequality sign?
Yes.
Not divided by 5, so we get negative 3 greater than or equal to x. If you did not, if you already switched your inequality, you're done. If you solve it like this, though, you do have to flip to get the value on the variable on the right, left I mean. So x less than or equal to negative 3. If you want to flip the sides, the inequality also flips. Donnie?
I got the same exact answer. What I did was instead of, adding together 50 and negative 19, I just did them separately.
Yeah. So you like added 19 and then subtract 58 or something like that? Yeah, that'll be the same thing. So I'm going to give you just a little bit of time to fix yours up. If you made any errors, I want them to all be right. Did you? Nice. There are lots and lots of places for errors on here. So if you are regularly having trouble like adding and subtracting your negatives, you need to be extra careful, okay? Maybe use a calculator to check them. Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
There should be that like funny like elevator music.
Okay, let's try another one.
Michelle,
What?
I got stuck in Colorado in the hotel I went to. It was really weird music in the hotel.
What was it?
Yeah.
It was like a dog.
Okay, here we go.
This is a lobby. We got it.
I want you to start this problem. I am going to give you extra time to work on homework today because I want to go around checking problems as you go.
I'm really gonna die.
Are you gonna do
Seven was way too hard. I was gonna feel like it was very
Well, I changed the assignment,
Both of them.
but I won't have you guys do all of it. I'll have you turn in that and then I won't have you do extra work. The same amount as everybody else. That problem right there. I'll tell you when to have it.
Wait, by ourselves.
By yourselves. I want you to start this problem by yourself.
They were doing all that homework.
That's next.
Get to work. What's the first thing you're gonna do? Multiply that distributive property.
Is that a 2 and A? Is that an A or a 2?
And then we.
Okay, so you got 9 and when you multiply by here.
Oh, I know that part. Would 9 times negative 2 be negative 18?
So you just put minus 18. Okay.
I'm stupid.
Nathan.
Sorry.
Yeah, this isn't supposed to be here.
Oh.
That's the problem right there. Get rid of that.
You showed me.
Well, it's actually minus 5. Right? It's a minus 5, so you gotta subtract it.
I don't know what to do next.
This 9n needs to combine with that minus 5n. So it's distribute, combine like terms.
Oh, this thingy like that.
You'll get it right, sure. As long as you kind of.
No, because it's a minus 5n, so you subtract. 9 minus 5.
Oh.
You gotta follow the signs.
Wait, is there homework in the book or?
I actually printed out a worksheet.
So you printed it out? Oh.
Okay. So this one, distributive property. So you would get 9n minus 18 minus 5n. That's what everybody's step number 1 should look like. Okay? So this is the order in which it goes. Distributive property, combine like terms. Do I have any combined like terms that need to happen?
Yes.
Ivan, which ones?
And, oh, 5 and 9.
The 2n terms, yeah.
Yeah.
So I have 9n and 5n. A number of you were asking me if I should add them or should I subtract them.
No.
So do you do 9 plus 5 or do you do 9 minus 5? And tell me why. Raise your hands. Why? Jace.
Cause
5 in is a negative and 9 in is a positive.
Right, you've got a positive and you've got a negative, so you have to use subtraction to combine those. So you would get those combined to give you 4n, and then we've got the minus 18. So everybody's third step should look like that. All I have now is a single n term that I need to get isolated. So if I want to get that by itself, the minus 18's got to go. How do I make it go away?
Add 18.
Add 18. Okay. 18 goes away on the left. 4n. I haven't done anything to change my inequality yet, so it's remaining greater than or equal to 52. Divide by 4. Does dividing by 4 change your inequality? No, it's a positive, so nothing is changing the inequality. N is greater than or equal to 13.
I got it right.
I did it.
I just forgot what 4 divided by 50 is. It's stuck there.
All right, go ahead and shut the video off.